Welcome back to my YouTube channel, your go-to destination for uncovering some of the most fascinating stories and astounding values behind rare coins and collectibles from every corner of the world, where today we focus on one of the most remarkable and unexpected stars in the realm of modern coinage, the 2016 1-cent coin, a penny that, despite its modest nature and face value of just 1 cent, astonishingly commands an estimated value of $358 million due to a fascinating array of errors and minting mistakes that have elevated it from ordinary currency to an incomparable numismatic treasure, sparking awe and curiosity among collectors, historians, investors, and enthusiasts worldwide. The story of this penny is a compelling testament to how seemingly small errors produced during the minting process can send a coin's value skyrocketing, turning a simple object that circulates daily in our wallets into a near-mythical artifact whose combination of rarity of mistake, and historical significance capture the imagination far beyond its intrinsic material worth. The 2016 1-cent coin, minted by the United States Mint, was produced in vast quantities as part of regular coinage to meet the nation's massive demand for currency, and like millions of pennies from that year, typical specimens would carry only their face value or a small numismatic premium in exceptional grades. However, a subset of these pennies manifested one or multiple profound minting errors that have catapulted them to an entirely different echelon of desirability and economic value. The journey from a 1-cent face value to a staggering $358 million reflects the complex interplay of rarity, error magnitude, condition, provenance, and collector passion that influence numismatic markets. At the heart of the 2016 1-cent coin's value story lies an extraordinary and highly visible doubled die obverse error, a phenomenon that is both fascinating in its occurrence and significant in its impact on the coin's aesthetic and monetary worth. The double die error occurs during the crucial die-making process. A master die is supposed to be impressed with the coin's design just once, but when it is struck twice with imperfect alignment, the result is a die bearing duplicated design imagery, which when used to strike coins, produces duplicate or shadowed images especially noticeable around key design elements and inscriptions. For the 2016 penny, this doubling is boldly evident, magnified around critical inscriptions such as the word liberty, the national motto, in God we trust, the date, 2016, and especially the mint mark. This doubling can be of varying degrees, but in the rarest instances it is so sharp, pronounced, and well-defined that the coin almost seems to possess a three-dimensional layering of design, making it instantly recognizable and highly sought after by collectors. Careful examination with magnification reveals clear doubling on letter edges and date numerals that is impossible to overlook, contributing heavily to the coin's desirability. The depth and precision of the double die make it a phenomenal example of minting error, the kind that transcends minor collector curiosity and enters the realm of significant rarity. Beyond the doubling, a fascinating array of supplemental minting mistakes and anomalies augment the coin's value and contribute to its mystique that have captivated the numismatic community. Among these are die cracks arising from the mechanical stresses exerted on the dies during mass production processes, microscopic hairline fractures that expand over time, resulting in thin raised lines traversing the coin's surfaces, which are considered gorgeous signatures of a die overuse that leave unique patterns on each coin. On 2016 pennies with these errors, die cracks appear around Lincoln's profile, the date, and even on the rim, adding another layer of uniqueness to each specimen with varied crack configurations. The presence of such die cracks emphasizes the imperfect, human and machine-generated nature of coin production, and collectors cherish these imperfections as marks of rarity and evidence of the coin's production history. Additionally, some of these prized coins reveal repunched mint marks, a numismatic rarity in which the mint mark, P, or D, is struck more than once in slightly different positions on the die, resulting in a subtle doubling or ghost image of the mint mark itself. This anomaly adds a unique twist to the coin and often distinguishes specimens worth tens of thousands or even more, depending on the sharpness and clarity of this repunched mint mark. The intersection of a double die obverse and a repunched mint mark on the same coin creates a potent cocktail of rarity and desirability that collectors seek with great enthusiasm. Off-center strikes are another critical factor elevating the 2016 penny's value profile. These errors occur when the planchet blank is not properly centered in the coining under the dies, leading to designs that are visibly skewed or noticeably truncated along one side of the coin, leaving a blank planchet margin that is a striking visual anomaly compared to the normally centered design expected on coins. Off-centering in the 2016 penny varies in degree. Minor displacement might go unnoticed by the casual observer but is prized more severely with acute misalignment, where up to 50% or more of the design can be missing. When this off-centering is combined with other errors such as double dies or repunched mint marks, it knits together a fascinating example of multi-error rarity, boosting the penny's value by significant margins. Unique specimens also display broad-strike anomalies, where the retaining collar that ordinarily keeps the coin planchet in precise dimensions is missing or malfunctioning, resulting in coins that have expanded beyond the usual diameter, with scalloped or irregular edges, often accompanied by diminished or distorted design details. Broad-strike errors on pennies are rare and visually compelling, therefore, coins featuring broad-strike alongside double dies and other errors form a supremely rare subset that numismatists prize highly. The 2016 penny also bears unique planchet errors that fascinate collectors and metallurgists alike. Though designed to have a copper-plated zinc core, some pennies were struck on defective or contaminated planchets, exhibiting lamination errors where the copper plating peels or flakes partially, or metallurgical inconsistencies that affect the coin's coloration, thickness, and weight. These planchet anomalies, while often inadvertently created, function as collectible gems because they represent material-level imperfections drastically different from the intended high-standard mint outputs. Additionally, edge errors such as improperly formed ridges or missing reeds appear on certain 2016 pennies, which under normal circumstances have finely milled edges. These edge errors occur due to improper collar die function or material flow during striking, further adding to the coin's error diversity and collectible appeal. No one error alone would typically sustain such a lofty valuation, but the true marvel of the 2016 penny is the rare instances where multiple errors coalesce on the same coin, producing an artifact whose rarity approaches the mythical. The supply-side scarcity of such multispectral error coins fuels demand in a collector market eager to own unique pieces of minting history. The macro valuation of these error pennies, running millions into the hundreds of millions, especially the $358 million figure circulating in investment and collector circles, is influenced by the rarity of these combined errors, rising demand for high-quality, well-documented specimens, and the speculative aspect of owning a collectible with both historical significance and investment potential. Provenance adds further validity and value to the 2016 penny's legend, as many of the highest graded and most famous specimens have been discovered serendipitously in circulation, inherited through family collections, or surfaced from previously sealed rolls years after the initial strike. These narrative threads enhance the collectible's appeal and impart a storied aura that collectors deeply cherish. Market professionals certify these coins using PCGS, NGC, and other reputable grading services, securing authenticity and condition ratings, essential for maintaining confidence in such high-stakes transactions. Moreover, the presence of scientific research employing high-precision tools, such as electron microscopy, X-ray fluorescence analysis, and three-dimensional laser scanning, has validated the physical anomalies and chemically unique features found in these error coins, further legitimizing their extraordinary valuation and helping distinguish authentic examples from cleverly fabricated or altered fakes, an ever-important requirement in a market of significant financial magnitude. The tale of the 2016 penny permeates far beyond numismatic circles, touching upon themes of chance, human error, and how imperfections become extraordinary when rare enough. It symbolizes the unpredictable beauty that arises when automated processes meet the fallibility of machinery and human oversight. Historically, the 2016 minting process marked an era of advanced technology blended imperfectly with the human element, where the unprecedented inclusion of multiple errors on a single coin speak volumes about the complexity and fallibility of mass production even in highly technical facilities. This story resonates widely and is emblematic of how the mundane can transform into something exceptional, inspiring collectors and casual observers alike. The coin also fuels imagination about hidden wealth in everyday change, prompting treasure hunters and collectors to scour circulation and hoards for overlooked gems. This hopeful allure is a significant. Next, 1992 1-cent USA coin. Fascinating deep dive into one of the most intriguing and valuable collectibles in the world of numismatics, the 1992 1-cent coin that astonishingly costs up to $270 million due to its infamous errors and mistakes. Today, we will unravel the captivating story behind this tiny piece of copper and zinc that transcends its face value and becomes a treasure sought by collectors, investors, and historians alike. From the moment a coin is struck, its value is typically associated with its purchase price. However, the 1992 penny defies that notion spectacularly. What began as a simple minting journey resulted in an extraordinary anomaly whose allure rests upon errors, mistakes, and the thrilling possibilities these imperfections open up for its owner. The story of the 1992 1-cent coin is rich with drama and intrigue and highlights just how a seemingly insignificant blunder in the minting process could produce one of the most coveted coins in existence, commanding a staggering price of $270 million in rare circumstances. To understand the full scope and magnitude of this coin's worth, we must first delve into the errors that plague it, explore the mistakes made at various stages of its creation, and later examine why these factors compound to such a breathtaking valuation. In 1992, the United States Mint produced billions of pennies, continuing the familiar design featuring the profile of Abraham Lincoln on the obverse and the Lincoln Memorial on the reverse. These pennies were intended for everyday transactions, hardly the stuff of collectors' dreams. However, in the middle of this mass production, a subset of these coins emerged that had been marred by a series of minting errors. These errors range from double dies, off-center strikes, wrong planchets, and striking on lamination errors to failures in the die preparation process that led to ghost images on the coin's surface. These anomalies are what first garnered attention and curiosity from the numismatic community, but the 1992 penny has been subject to an especially stubborn and unique combination of errors that elevate it far beyond typical minting defects. One of the most significant mistakes involved the die itself. The dies used to create the Lincoln penny, which are hard steel stamps engraved with a negative image of the design, are critical for ensuring uniformity. However, in 1992, some of the dies exhibited weak relief and misalignments, which, compounded with improper maintenance, created coins with blurred elements, weak strikes, and inconsistent image sharpness. The doubling effect visible on some of these coins is a sign that the die may have been mispositioned or that a doubling hub transferred two slightly offset images onto the die surface, resulting in a double die. This doubling led to some parts of the coin, such as Lincoln's profile or the lettering, appearing to have a shadow or a hollow outline, a sought-after characteristic in many rare coins. Alongside the doubling, off-center strikes happened in part because the planchets, empty metal discs awaiting imprint, were not properly secured before being struck. An off-center strike leaves a portion of the coin blank, sometimes exposing the raw edge of the planchet surrounding the imprinted design. Such coins, especially when combined with other errors, become visually fascinating and mechanically rare. Compounding issues, the 1992 pennies also suffer from wrong planchet errors, where the metal discs used differ either in composition, size, or thickness from the standard pennies. It is known that planchets of different alloys or sizes occasionally make their way into the production lines by accident, creating oddities that stand out sharply to collectors. Imagine a 1-cent coin struck on a planchet intended for a different denomination, such as a 5-cent nickel. The mismatch drastically changes the coin's weight, diameter, and thickness, instantly increasing its scarcity and desirability. Additionally, lamination errors occur when the coin's metal surface peels or flakes due to improper mixing or impurities in the metal blanks. This results in coins showing spots where the copper layer appears to lift or crack, distorting the design and making each error coin appear unique. Why do these mistakes make a coin worth millions? And how is the figure of $270 million arrived at? Though there hasn't been a public sale reaching that astronomical amount, experts estimate this value when considering hypothetical extremes, such as a coin combining multiple errors, in impeccable condition, with key historical significance attached. The value estimation also factors in rarity, demand from high-end collectors, and the speculative potential as a unique artifact. In the history of coin collecting, very few coins have reached such heights of valuation. This is mostly because of their status as a one-of-a-kind or near one-of-a-kind piece that represents an anomaly in the official mint production lines. The 1992 Pennies mixture of widely recognized errors makes it a candidate for the highest tier of rarity. To collectors, rarity is governed not simply by the number of coins minted, but the number of coins surviving that fit a certain flawed description. If only a handful of 1992 pennies featuring the exact same doubling, off-center strike, wrong planchet, and lamination error exist, then those few coins become immensely valuable. Add to this their pristine condition, provenance, and the growing interest in coins exhibiting modern mint errors, and the value skyrockets. There is also a psychological rarity and social proof factor. Stories spread through numismatic magazines, online forums, and auction house reports fueling legendary status. The history of the 1992 penny era also coincided with advancements in numismatic research. As coin collecting became more technical and technology-driven, with magnification, digital grading, and even spectrometry, collectors gained more tools to find, verify, and authenticate error coins. This increased visibility heightened awareness of such anomalies, increasing their perceived and actual market values. Moreover, some theories posit that the errors in 1992 coins may have originated from procedural lapses caused by budget cuts or staffing shortages in the U.S. Mint during the early 1990s. This retelling not only enriches the coin's lore but adds a narrative that preservation and attention to detail were compromised, ironically creating an irreplaceable mistake that few others have managed to replicate. Despite the incredible value associated with these error pennies, many remain skeptical about their marketability. After all, even with a theoretical price tag of $270 million, selling such an item would require a buyer willing to take an enormous risk on authenticity, condition, and future appreciation of value. The coin is not only a collector's item but also an investment vehicle subject to fluctuations due to market demand and economic conditions. Beyond the numismatic community, this penny has attracted attention due to its blend of art, history, economics, and chance, factors that combine to create a compelling story in a single small object. It highlights how imperfections, often seen as flaws, transform into coveted traits that tell a deeper story than the coin's simple monetary denomination might suggest. The multitudes of errors witness to the complexity of mass production and the fine balance mints strive to maintain between precision and efficiency. The 1992 penny also teaches a lesson in value perception. Ordinary pennies clutter pockets and jar drawers, taken for granted, dismissed as mere change. Yet when scrutinized through the lens of rarity and error, their story changes entirely, reminding us that value sometimes lies in the unexpected or overlooked. Returning to the technical specifics, the kind of doubling seen on the 1992 error penny is categorized as a double die obverse error, resulting from die engraving mistakes. This differs from machine doubling, a lesser error caused by die slippage during striking. The double die produces a pronounced, visually striking doubling, particularly noticeable around the words Liberty, the date, and Lincoln's jaw line. Not all 1992 pennies exhibit this error, making those that do a treasured find. Off-center strikes on these coins vary in severity, with some missing just a sliver of the design, while others are so eccentric the coin looks almost incomplete. Since the coins are identifiable as legal tender despite these imperfections, their function as currency contrasts sharply with their new role as collectible rarities, creating an interesting dual identity. Wrong planchet coins from 1992 have been recorded with an array of anomalies, including copper coins struck on smaller or differently composed blanks and occasionally coated planchets intended for other denominations. Collectors prize such coins not only for their rarity but also for their scientific value, since chemical analysis can reveal contamination levels, metallurgical anomalies, and minting process quirks that contributed to their creation. The lamination flaws complicate this picture, as the peeling of the coin's metallic layers reflects both a manufacturing oversight and intrinsic material challenges within the coin's alloy composition. Metallurgical tests confirm that these pennies, made with 97.5% zinc core clad with 2.5% copper, are susceptible under certain conditions to surface weaknesses that manifest as lamination errors. This susceptibility makes the 1992 errors even more plausible and provides further evidence of why such flawed specimens exist and have survived in circulation. The survival of these error coins also ties into their post-mint handling and distribution pathways. Coins with errors often are removed from circulation either by keen-eyed cashiers, collectors, or enthusiasts who hunt error.